Hi, Zizaran here, and I wanted to make a quick video about the Righteous Fire build I'm currently playing, and just like a rough update on what I'm doing right now, but also a quick how did I create the gear and stuff for it. So we'll take a look at that now. So, Righteous Fire, you get a big, beautiful ring of fire around you, and I have 90, 90, 90 max res and almost 100% spell suppression. So the reason I've gone for that is because I don't have an Aegis Aurora. That's very, very popular, and most people on Trade League are doing that. But since I got this with rug crafting, and that's generally, I do have a specific video just for how to craft that shield. So getting the suppression was the hard part, to be honest. Getting the max rest was pretty easy. So getting like a Aegis backup shield wasn't too hard. Aegis is really, really good, and having 90 max rest already makes you pretty much immune to most LE damage. And then you want to start focusing on Fizz after that, and Chaos. That is the biggest hole in my build right now. So I do have Divine Shield, but I don't have Aegis. So what I did instead is I have a Glorious Vanity of Doriani giving me Corrupted Soul. This splits the damage taken between my life and ES, so that means that I get true double regen, right? So I actually do have over 3k regen then. Because, you know, if I take 1000 damage, I take 500 on life, 500 on shield, and they're both regenerating for 1.5. So that is really, really nice about that. Now, that being said, I am pretty scared of Fizz right now. So that is the next step in the build I'm going. But let's look at my gear real quick. I have tier 1 spell suppression here with grand spell suppression implicit. This is a little overkill, and I don't actually need this much because I actually got lucky and managed to get, sadly, Conk Effect, but I managed to get a Elder Helmet with spell suppression. So we'll talk a little bit about the helmet. Obviously, I spammed Delirium Essence until I hit the 30 elemental damage and spell suppression, and best case scenario here would be hitting burning damage instead of the lightning res, or, you know, at least if I'm gonna hit a res there, not 9. So that was a little unlucky, but, you know, it's hard on Soul Self-Find crafting helmets like this. And I have tier 1 suppression, so it is insane. Makes gearing a lot easier. I was actually only hoping for 11% on my helmet. After that, I had the Conk Effect, and I had hybrid armor or something. I don't know. I had some random stat, and then I'd crafted +1 AoE gems. And then I was like, it's a 66% chance that I'll hit it if I do suffixes cannot be changed, and I do Ashleen at Katarina. So if you put all mine are unID'd. Well, anyway, if you have Ashleen in research at level 4, so that means level 3 in research anywhere, and then killing Katarina, she will let you annul a stat and add a random one. So that's what I did, and I hit the random shitty one that I didn't want. And obviously that was a 66% chance that I either hit the random shitty one or hits the suffixes cannot be changed. Just needed to not hit the Conk Effect. I don't know. I blocked some unveil modifier. There was some unveil modifier I blocked before unveiling. So if you craft something before unveiling, you can't try to unveil that. Like if I craft life, it couldn't try to unveil life. So you free up like one unveil slot. So that's really important to do before unveiling something good. And yeah, I hit the +2 AoE gems. So that means that my Righteous Fire is level 23. Sadly, I don't have a 21, which I really do want. For my chest, these are very, very easy to make. You'll find a large amount of these. You just need a incursion chest with percentage max life and open prefixes. So I keep every single one I find. I have several of these. It can be a bit annoying finding it on innovation base, but you could also just annul down any innovation chest. In the case of this Death Shroud, then I would do multi-mod, craft the life is extra ES and percentage life. And then we have mods like these, keeping all prefixes. And you can also use the Eldritch currencies. And that is why I have the Eater of Worlds as the only implicit, because I'm currently in the process of re-rolling my chest. Every time I get Exalted Orbs, I would do 1 annul, 1 exalt. Every time I get Chaos Orbs, I will use that, because I'm trying to get spell suppression. I want to have 100% spell suppression. Now, this is a little overkill. I probably am better off not even having spell suppression, because right now, if an elemental spell hits me with 100% suppression and 90 max rest, there's, to the best of my knowledge, no spell elemental outside of Delve that could kill me. There's simply no elemental spell high enough. So memory game currently hits me for around 7,200. So with the degen, it would be a little tight, but I'm not far off surviving that. And if it was a spell, if memory game was a spell, it would only hit me for 3,600. So I don't think there's any elemental spell that can kill that on its own. So the main danger for this character would be physical damage, chaos damage, surprisingly poison degens are very scary, even though I have so much regen. And also things like Revenants or Deep Delving, obviously always scary. Simulacrum, getting Scorched is pretty bad right now because I'm not Ellie immune. I have thought about trying to fit an additional aura in. Honestly, I've thought about trying to fit Purity of Elements in just for like total Ellie immunity, because I'm kind of scared of like Brittle and stuff like that right now. I would probably have fitted for sure if it was 35%, but with 50, it is kind of hard to fit. So I would need to anoint like Charisma. Currently I have Arsonist, and yeah, I'm using Ashes of the Stars. It is really nice. You could just use a +1 too. It lets me fit Defiance Banner a bit easier. I was a little bit unlucky with my shield in one way because I didn't get +3 Fire Rest. That would make the shield literally perfect, and I would never look to replace it. But it would actually be pretty huge to get the +5 there, because right now I'm exactly 90 max rest. So there's a few things. I could remove the aura effect here. I could remove the plus max res here. And there's so many things there. Obviously, I can never remove this. This is 3 max res. But being able to remove these would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We could probably do different pathing too. So we can probably save like 10 or 11 points if I had +1 max res here, and I had my Purity of Fire level 21. So I'll at least save 4 points once I get a 21 Purity of Fire. I will also need to get a new weapon. So let's talk a little bit about how I'm trying to craft a new weapon. So we can demonstrate how I've been trying to craft. So here I just have a random item level 85 Opal Scepter. Already has Ellie damage. You can do this with like different gems as well. The important thing is, if you see at the top, it's tagged fire in the gem. That's important. That means things that are tagged fire, lightning, and cold, etc. would work as well. You need a total quality of 40. So I could have 4 gems with 10%, or like, you know, loads with like 8, 7, etc. But it needs to total up to 40, and then it will recipe +1 fire spells, heal gems. So that is what I've been doing, and then I am doing that. I'm auging, hoping to hit dot multi. I didn't. I'm regaling, hoping to hit dot multi. I didn't, and I don't really need incinerating. But what I would do next is I would go to the crafting bench. I would craft multi, and whatever is the cheapest one, so 2 alchemies. And then I would find harvest, reforge more likely, and hoping that it keeps +1 fire and gives me actual crafted dot multi. As long as I get like dot multi, ideally true dot multi would be the best. That would be huge, because then I could do multi-mod percentage fire damage and fire dot multi. That would be the biggest. I would never need to replace that scepter. But without, I would probably just craft burning damage. Like I would craft percentage fire damage and burning damage or something like that. But either way, it would be good enough. I just really need the +1 fire to get 4 skill points, because that is obviously huge. Belt, pretty easy. I just spam Reforged Life. I'm working on a second one right now. I'm just spamming Reforged Life until I hit double tier 1 life or tier 2 tier 1. And then I'll reforge the suffixes afterwards with Harvest. Boots, you kill Maven. Rings, you do find quite a lot more fractured gear than normal. So since I really need resist, ideally I want slightly better than this. I would love to have a better one where I have a open prefix. I might craft on something like this next, because I really want to have a open prefix so that I can craft minus mana cost, so that I don't need to use life tap on everything. Right now I'm struggling a little bit with my gemlings. So would love to get better resist rings. I would absolutely love to get dot multi rings with Delirium Essence, or I would love to get Vermilion rings with really good res. But I am struggling a lot with that now. A lot of that is that my chest isn't finished. I would love to get at least tier 3 suppression and then some resist that I can actually keep. I don't want to build around the resist on my chest right now. I would love to get more resist on my belt as well that has a dead suffix. Jewel wise, I'm using a Corrupted Blood Jewel. I do have a Resist Jewel that I will put in depending on changes to my gear. And I have a really nice dot multi-jewel. Sadly, didn't really hit on the fourth one. Attack speed isn't bad for me, but you know, I don't really care. I also currently have like a lot of superfluous points. I don't really need this point. I don't really need that point. I would love to find a way to get rid of dexterity. That's probably just going to be trying to get some on belt by spamming sorrow essences, but hitting that is going to be insane. But yeah, being able to get rid of my dex would be sick. Very unlikely to do that, but what I'm going to be taking next is endurance charges. So I would be looking to get enough duration on my endurance charges that I can use one of those, like, oh, generate an endurance charge every 14 seconds or whatever, and then have 5 endurance charges. That would make this build pretty unkillable. It would then only die to chaos damage, probably with 27 plus some Malachrome, really deep delve, and detonates. Any detonate will still kill it because that kills anything. That's pretty much it. Again, we do have a build guide for this that we did with Pox, and this is like slightly changed from that. And this was one of the builds that I did for build week. So turned out pretty well. Have done a lot of different bosses with it, including the new ones. Haven't done things like Uber Elder on it. Uber Elder should be very easy because there's nothing really there that does damage to me. I'm hoping to get a little bit more damage. I would love to get 21 gems. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying the league. Sub if you liked the video, but more importantly, try to die less than I do.